And live from the Kenyatta University Communication Center, you are just in time for the Thursday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News. Good evening to you wherever you're joining us from as we end yet another day. But the stories of our times are just beginning right here on KUTV, your informer and one who is up to the task of keeping you up to date on matters happening in the country and also beyond our borders. But first, let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Chaotic scenes unfold as hundreds of supporters clashed briefly with police as former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua gets back into the country. UDA allied legislators hit out at ODM leader Raila Odinga, accusing him of sabotaging broad-based government agendas. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen accuses some security agencies of collaborating with criminals in the counterfeit and substandard alcohol trade. As universities reopen, students are facing deepening financial struggles due to delays in help disbursement. Alright, we've been through the highlights and now let's get the full picture with me, Emmanuel Kutosi, and in the sign language interpretation we'll be sailing through with Sami Okelo. And of course, we extend your invite to join us on our social media handles at KUTV_Kenya on the X platform, and you can reach out to me at _Emmanuel Kutosi. Of course, this broadcast is also streaming to you live on our YouTube platform at KUTV News Kenya. Now let's get into it, where Deputy President, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, is back in the country after unexpectedly cutting short his tour in the US. His arrival at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport turned dramatic, with hundreds of supporters thronging the terminal in chaotic scenes that briefly drew in the police. His return comes at a time when the DCI is sharpening its gaze on remarks he made abroad of alleged graft in the government. Edna Nerea has more on this homecoming.
Thousands of supporters gathered at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to welcome the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Transport operations in Nairobi were heavily disrupted, with major roads clogged as crowds poured into the streets to celebrate his return to the country. Joseph Mutungi, a Nairobian resident, welcomed Rigathi Gachagua's return, saying he was happy to see him back. However, he noted this may not be the best moment for Gachagua to inject himself into the country's tense political scene.
Kukuja kwa Gachagua ama kurudi kwa Gachagua nchini ni tishio kwa serikali, ikizingatiwa kwamba ni yeye ambaye kidogo anaweza pigana vita na Ruto, kwa sababu wale wengine ambao wamekuwa kama kina Kalonzo Matiang'i kidogo wale hawezi pigana vita na Ruto, lakini sasa amerudia yule ambaye amerudi ama amerejea yule ambaye anaweza pigana vita na Ruto. So kidogo wako na wasiwasi sana upande wa serikali.
On the other hand, Elvis Mutua, a Nairobi resident, commented that Rigathi Gachagua's return may be interpreted as a threat to the government. He noted that many consider Gachagua a political figure capable of mounting serious opposition, a perception that could reshape the current political atmosphere.
First and foremost, I'm happy that the DCP party leader amerudi, and na amerudi wakati tunaona there is some disagreement between the executive and the legislature. So I'm very sure that hii itakuwa wakati mzuri sana ya Gachagua kuendelea kuinject na what I like about Gachagua is that huwa anatufichulia mambo yenye hatujui.
Rigathi Gachagua's return has drawn nationwide attention, attracting both support and scrutiny. His next step remains closely watched, as his presence is expected to influence the unfolding political conversations in the country. Edna Nerea, KUTV, Nairobi.
And even as political tensions rise at home, concerns are also being raised about security agencies and their role in the fight against illicit trade. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has taken aim at rogue elements within the country's security agencies, accusing some of working with criminals to spread counterfeit and substandard alcohol. Speaking at the Jukwaa la Usalama Forum in Nyeri County, Murkomen also praised the governor for tightening licensing laws and vowed a tougher crackdown. Moving forward, Paulette Akoth with more.
During the Jukwaa la Usalama Forum in Nyeri County, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen expressed concern over the spread of counterfeit and substandard alcohol, blaming some security officers for colluding with criminals. He commended the Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga for the strict licensing regulations, noting that only 17 bars had been registered, while stressing the need for rehabilitation centers in response to the rising cases of suicide.
So in 2 months we have lost 16 people committing suicide. This is unbelievable. This is such a huge number. And we need a collaboration with the county government. We need most of these people to go for rehabilitation. We also need counseling services generally in this county. And we have agreed that perhaps working with NACADA and the county government, they need to train people who interact with citizens more often.
Murkomen emphasized collaboration between county and local security teams, student leaders and university deans of students to address the rising drug abuse among young people.
A huge population of students in the universities and colleges. And part of the reasons why we have said that as a county security team and particularly sub-county security team, they need to incorporate the dean of students in the universities and colleges and their student leaders in their security meetings for purpose of strategy to deal with also this issue of drug menace and various targeted supplies for alcohol.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen said the sector has started to recover through government strategies that have led to increased prices of milk and coffee. He noted a reduction in theft of farm produce and livestock, praising the cooperation between security agencies, farmers and cooperative societies in curbing crime.
There is a good working relationship between the security team and the farmers and the cooperatives. We want to ensure that their coffee is escorted to the mills, out of the mills to the stores. We are working with the cooperatives to encourage them to put CCTV cameras. We are also putting under surveillance the security, the watchmen that are taking care of these cooperatives.
The CS assured that the government is committed to tackling social and economic challenges ranging from youth drug abuse to farmers' security in order to protect lives and strengthen communities. Paulette Akoth, Kutv, Nairobi.
And from security matters in Nyeri County, let's head to Kambani, where politics took a center stage today as leaders allied to the president took aim at Raila Odinga. Now, leaders allied to the President William Ruto have come out strongly against ODM leader Raila Odinga, accusing him of undermining key development funds such as the NGCDF, NGAF, and the Senate Oversight Committee. The leaders say Raila is going against broad-based government agendas that aim to uplift Kenyans at the grassroots. Their sharp remarks came during a boda empowerment drive in Kitui West. Beryl Otieno now reports.
During a boda empowerment drive for Kitui West constituency, residents at Kabati town, allies of President William Ruto from Ukambani, strongly criticized Raila Odinga for advocating the abolition of NGCDF, NGAF, and the Senate Oversight Fund in the Constitution, accusing him of contradicting the essence of a broad-based government. The leaders led by Mwala MP Vincent Kawaya accused Raila of contradicting the NADCO agreement he once participated in crafting, highlighting aims such as entrenchment of NGCDF, NGAF, and the Senate Oversight Fund in the Constitution, emphasizing that the NGCDF only benefits the poor and is not part of the county allocation, sending a warning to Raila against crossing the red line.
Tukasema part of our resolutions is basically to implement NADCO report. Sasa NADCO report inasema nini? NADCO report, one of the issues it's talking about is entrenching the CDF in the constitution. One of the other issues is the Senate Oversight Fund na hii pesa ya ngafu. Hii NADCO report, muhusika mkuu kwa hii NADCO report ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Baba mwenyewe ni muhusika mkuu.
They also highlighted some of their primary functions at the Senate, including making laws, representing citizens, and conducting oversight to ensure accountability in the government operations.
Sasa sisi kazi yetu ni kuangalia magavana wanafanya kazi ama wafanyi. Kwa hivyo na sheria inasema na katiba inasema. Hii mambo ya viongozi wetu wa juu wa kusema ya kwamba tusiangalie magavana, hiyo hatuwezi acha, ni kazi yetu. Kwa sababu kazi yetu ni vitu tatu: kutunga sheria, kuwakilisha wananchi na kufanya oversight. Na tutaifanya tujue pesa ya wananchi inaenda wapi. Si namna hiyo?
Moreover, Kitui MP Rachel Nyamai affirmed that discussions about NGCDF and NGAF should focus on increasing the fund to enhance its benefits for the people.
CDF. Ukitembea Kenya yote, katika ofisi ya chief utaona CDF. Ukienda shule utaona CDF. Ukienda kwa barabara ya Rural Road utapata CDF. Ukienda kila mahali utaona alama ya CDF. Kwa hivyo tunasema ile sisi hatutasikizana, na najua wananchi wa Kenya hawatakubali ni kuambiwa mtu yeyote anataka kutoa CDF katika nchi ya Kenya.
They are now defending NGCDF and NGAF, essential tools for grassroots development and inclusive governance. Beryl Otieno reporting for KUTV.
And still on matters affecting everyday Kenyans, students in universities are now raising alarm over delays in help funds, which they say have threatened their education for thousands of university students. The new semester has started with anxiety instead of relief. Delays in the disbursement of help funds are leaving many unable to pay fees or meet basic needs as the financial strain deepens. Students are also calling for urgent intervention to prevent learning disruptions. Glory Kature now reports.
Despite the release of funds to institutions, many students under the new funding model have yet to receive their loans and upkeep allowances directly. The delays have raised
Apologies for that. Hitch will be coming back with that report once it's properly arranged. Now, Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku has told senior managers in government that it's time to stop endless travel and party culture and focus instead on serving citizens. Speaking in Nairobi, the CS urged prudent use of resources to drive the president's bottom-up economic agenda, while PS Dr. Jane Mbunya highlighted the importance of ethical leadership and reforms in public service. Stanley has that story.
So please, the senior managers who are here, the directors and assistant directors, we have an opportunity to join hands with the President of the Republic of Kenya in transforming our nation. President has said he's going to ensure Kenya is transformed in our lifetime. The remaining years,
we should be ready to reform our mindsets so that we can streamline the processes, embrace innovation, and ensure that the public service remains responsive, agile, and citizen-centered. That reminds us of the theme that we had this year for our public.
We stream now beyond our borders, where Kenya's bilateral ties with Japan have received a major boost after the signing of 3 landmark agreements in finance, health, and industrial growth. President William Ruto witnessed the signing during the Tokyo International Conference on African Development TICAD 9 in Yokohama, where Kenya is pushing for stronger cooperation with Asian economies. Rose with the story of this significant milestone.
President William Ruto witnessed the signing of the 3 key pacts covering finance, health, and industrial development. Among them is a statement of intent on the Samurai Bond linked between Kenya's National Treasury and Nippon Export and Investment Insurance, unlocking access to Japan's capital markets.
Transformation cannot be achieved through endless strategizing, planning, or prevarication. It demands action. The courage to make courageous decisions today, even when inconvenient, in the short term, because the long-term good of our people is what matters most.
Addressing the conference trade and investment session, President Ruto urged African nations to take full advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area, noting that intra-African trade remains at 15% compared to 60% in Europe and Asia.
Currently, less than 18% of Africa's exports are traded in the continent, compared to over 60% in Europe and Asia. According to the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, Africa must trade more with itself to unlock the vast potential of markets, open rivers of opportunity for our people, create wealth, and drive inclusive prosperity.
In health, the Ministry of Health signed a letter of intent with Japan's Shonogi and Company, supported by the Global Antibiotic R&D Foundation, to accelerate access to cefiderocol, a vital antibiotic for bacterial pneumonia treatment. Ruto has called for revitalization of agriculture, reforms in the global credit rating system, and stronger private sector participation to drive inclusive African growth. Rose Karori, KUTV.
Thank you, Rose Karori, for that report. Now, back home, health officials in Malindi are racing against time to contain a fresh measles outbreak that has already affected young children. A health scare is unfolding in Malindi sub-county, where a measles outbreak has been confirmed. 4 cases have so far been reported in Shela, sparking concern over low childhood immunization rates in the area. Authorities have now launched a mop-up vaccination campaign to protect children who missed earlier doses.
In Malindi sub-county, cases of measles outbreak have been reported, raising alarm over low childhood immunization rate in the area. While addressing the issue during an immunization sensitization workshop for community leaders in Malindi, the sub-county public health officer Alex Maida noted that while the government led campaigns on measles, rubella and typhoid vaccines, there have been slight improvements. According to Alex Maida, at least 4 cases have been reported in Shila area in Malindi. Maida further raised concerns about the spread of mpox, with 2 suspected cases currently under investigation and 19 confirmed cases reported in Kilifi County.
Tulikuwa na kampeni ya kupeana chanjo ya kuzuia ugonjwa wa homa matumbo na ukambi na rubela. Na Kilifi County tumerekodi visa kama 19 vya ugonjwa wa mpox. Hivyo basi pia katika hali ya hamasa tujue tayari pia kunaweza tokezea chanjo ya kuzuia ugonjwa wa mpox.
Addressing the issue, Maida highlighted the region's low immunization rates, warning that inadequate vaccination could lead to further outbreaks of preventable diseases, therefore urging health team to carry out mpox exercise, which allows them to go door to door and visit schools to administer booster doses to those who might have missed previous vaccines.
Iwapo chanjo pia zitaletwa za kuzuia mpox, tuzikumbatie tukijua pia tuko kwenye outbreak ama mkurupuko ugonjwa wa mpox ambao pia ni hatari katika jamii.
On the other hand, religious leaders also joined the campaign to combat vaccine misinformation, encouraging parents to vaccinate their children and reject harmful myths, emphasizing that immunization is a shared community responsibility.
Ni sisi viongozi wa dini, jambo kama hili tunapinga kabisa, kwamba hakuna madhara yoyote kupeleka mtoto wako hospitali kwenda kupata chanjo.
Health officials are now banking on continued community sensitization to reverse poor performance and shield Malindi residents from preventable diseases outbreak. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
And away from health matters, we look at matters concerning graft, where as political blame games continue, ordinary Kenyans are voicing frustration over what they see as empty promises in the fight against corruption. President William Ruto has repeatedly vowed to fight corruption head-on, promising arrest and decisive action. But on the ground, many Kenyans remain skeptical. some dismissing his pledges as anti-political rhetoric. Tonight, we take you across the country to hear what ordinary citizens think about the war on graft. Wendy Imani takes her debut with this report.
Despite President Ruto's strong statements about arresting corrupt leaders, many Kenyans still remain doubtful. Several said his promises are lies, mere propaganda, and that he will not take real action to arrest those accused of corruption.
My opinion, sidhani kama ata-arrest. Na aki-arrest, itakuwa tu ni siasa, kulingana vile huwa inakuwa. Kwa sababu, majority of MPs wenye wako side yake, pia ni corrupt. Unaona? So all MPs are corrupt. So ukiniambia uta-arrest part, na wengine uache, then it means kuna vile una favor watu wako, na watu wengine unawaacha.
And Ruto, for what we know, is that he's trying to lay blame elsewhere. He's trying to lay blame to some other institution to cover up himself.
These reactions follow President Ruto's statements on March 15th in Homa Bay during the devolution conference, where he accused several members of parliament and senators of taking bribes to influence key legislation. He also made a commitment to publicly name and take action against corrupt leaders during the August 19th State House Monday meeting.
There are people who are destroying the credibility of parliament. And they are collecting money in the name of parliament. And some of the time, or most of the time, that money never gets to parliament, it gets to a few people. We are not going to shame them. We are going to arrest them.
On Tuesday, August 19th, the Senate formally urged President Ruto to provide concrete evidence supporting his bribery allegations. Senators advocated for investigations to be conducted in accordance with the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, warning that unproven public accusations risk undermining Parliament's integrity.
With the latest fight against corruption, President William Ruto assured the public of arresting members of parliament involved. The public, however, remains doubtful, questioning whether any action will take place. Kate Imani, Kutv, Nairobi.
Thank you, Wendy Imani, faithfully delivering that report within the home of budding talent. That is Kutv. We take a short break right here on the Thursday edition of the Kutv Primetime News. We'll be back with Sporting Matters.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii, na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari-ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimwele. Imagine a world where you are empowered to take charge of your health, where you are well informed about latest advancements in healthcare and understand the policies that impact your well-being. Get ready to take charge of matters your health as we bring you a blend of weekly health features that engage professionals from across various medical fields.
When do you decide as a patient, do I need to go see the doctor? We are at a stage where we are seeing all this manner of chronic illnesses and we wait until we get a disease and then is when we go ahead.
From the most mundane to the complexities that perhaps seem overwhelming, we got you covered.
In terms of the factors that might be attributed, there are
hereditary factors. That means it could be genetic. So that's one factor. But there are other factors as well, like nutritional deficiencies. So some vitamins such as folate have been identified to be a factor in those. So
our mission is to break down intricate health topics into understandable and actionable insights. Join me, Yvonne Kimuma, every Wednesday 9 p.m. on KUTV's News at 9, where your health is our priority.
We are now swiftly into the sporting arena where excitement is building as Harambee Stars prepare for a crucial CHAN quarter-final against Madagascar tomorrow. All eyes will be on the Harambee Stars tomorrow as they face Madagascar in a do-or-die CHAN 2024 qualifier final clash at the Kasarani Stadium. The Football Kenya Federation has even appealed to CAF to allow the stadium to run at full capacity as excitement builds among fans. A victory could push Kenya into the semi-finals against either Algeria or Sudan. We break away where Europe's transfer market is still buzzing with big moves as top clubs reshuffle their squads ahead of the new season. Arsenal are closing in on Crystal Palace's Eberechi Eze, a deal worth over £60 million. Chelsea, on the other hand, have secured Paraguayan striker Julio Enciso, and Manchester City have tied down young star Rico Lewis until 2030. Six minutes past the top of the hour, and that's where we call it wraps for the Thursday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News. And of course, the world turns, and with every rotation, a story unfolds. And right here at KUTV, we embark to ensure that you get the reports candidly, supported by our crew of budding journalists, budding reporters, budding technical crew, a very gifted crew right here to ensure that we deliver everything to you in a candid matter. And I'd like to appreciate the whole team involved in the production of tonight's broadcast, led by my producer Yvonne Kimuma Monari, and of course journalists that were involved in the production of the news, and also the technical team, a very crew that is ensuring everything is going in a swift manner. Melton Coachella is pushing me for time, but hey, bravo to you guys. And also thank you for you, wherever you are, for keeping it KUTV and being part of the Thursday edition of the KUTV Prime Time News. We meet together tomorrow once more. Good night.